dear students. In previous two classes I have given you the lecture material in which model 2 has been started, and model 2 in previous two lectures I have given you the notes on job design, job analysis and recruitment. So recruitment means the finding and attracting the capable candidates who will apply for the jobs which are vacant in the organization. Okay, so outcome of recruitment is a pool of candidates from which now organization will select the candidate or select the employee for the organization. Okay, so here in this PPT we will start the employee selection process. So as we can see here, there is a huge process, the long process for the employee selection. Now it will depend upon the organization what steps they will follow, but this is the model employee selection process I have given here. So I will just explain each and every step in short. So the whole selection process, there are some external factors, there are some internal factors which will affect the employee selection process. Now internal factors can be the factors like the budget that organization is having in hand to conduct the whole selection process. Now the technological support that organization will have for conducting the selection process, because many organizations are conducting the selection process through telephone, through video conferencing. So it will depend upon the technical support that organization is having, the number of vacancies the organization is having. So these are some internal factors which will affect the employee selection process, and there are some external factors like availability of laborers in the labor market, that can be one factor for the selection process. Then the rules and regulations imposed by government, because many times there are some criteria applied by the organization. For example, some seats are reserved for female candidates, some seats are reserved for the OBC people, SC/ST people. So these are some external factors like government, then availability and the demand for the jobs in the market, the recession. So these are some external factors which will affect the selection process. Now the next and the first step in the selection process is preliminary interview. Now preliminary interview means now you're having the resumes of the candidate with you, but many times it happens that some information is missing in the resume. So the objective of preliminary interview is to find out the more detailed information about the candidates, the which is not mentioned in the resume, which is missed in the resume. Okay, so this is the main purpose of preliminary interview. Now many organizations will skip this preliminary interview, they will directly go for the selection test. Like government organization, they directly conduct the selection test, they will not go through this preliminary interview, but mainly private organizations will follow this preliminary interview so that their time will be saved for the next processes. So in preliminary interview they will reject some candidates and they will screen some people for the selection test. Now in selection test, the organizations can conduct varieties of tests. Now it will depend upon the job for which selection is going on. It will depend upon the type of organization. It can be service organization, it can be product organization. So it will depend upon the requirement what kind of test the organization will conduct. Now for example, the test can be aptitude test, the test can be a logical reasoning test, the test can be psychological test, the test can be handwritten test. Now you will say why handwriting test, because through handwriting also we can check the different parameters of the people. Okay, so handwriting test can be possible, lie detecting test can be possible to check the loyalty of the people. So these can be the various types of selection tests conducted by the even group discussion is also one kind of selection test. The technical round is also one kind of selection test. Voice recognition is also one kind of selection test to check the vocabulary of the people, the pronunciations of the people. So these are the different types of tests that will depend upon the requirement. Okay, so these are some selection tests. Now during the selection test many people will get rejected and some people will get selected for the next round. Now the next round is employment interview round. Now employment interview is simply, you say it as a personal interview, that is PI we say, or it can be called as HR interview, HR round. So employment interview, in this Now there will be questions like uh, what do you know about the company, what do you know about the job profile, why you are interested in this company, why you are interested in this job profile, what salary you expect from the organization, so what contribution you will give in the organization, so which location will be suitable. So generally discussion will be for the location, discussion will be for salary, discussion will be for the um, job profile and the organization. So these are the purposes for employment interview. Now again in employment interview, some people will get rejected, some people will get selected for the next round. Now the next round is of reference and background analysis. Now what is reference and background analysis? Here reference means as you people are also in third year, so you people will also prepare your resume. Many of you may have prepared already. So in resume you have to mention the name of two people who know you better. Now these two people should not be your friends, they should not be your family members. These people should be any people that will know you. For example, they can be your bank managers, they can be your tutors, they can be your teachers, they can be your HOD, it can be your principal. So you have to give reference of the two people here. Okay, so what is the reason behind giving the references? Now reference means, now as you are the fresher people, you don't have any kind of experience, so the organization for which you have applied, that organization will call these references and will ask about you. Okay, so it's one kind of background check of the employee by calling the references given by you. Okay, so in reference check, the organization will call that person whose name you have given in the reference in your resume, and they will ask about your qualities, they will ask about your information, they will just try to authenticate your information, whatever information you have submitted, that information is correct or not. They will ask about the relationship you are having with that reference, they will ask about your loyalty, your punctuality, your discipline, your performance. So in this, if reference will say good things about you, you will be selected for the next process. If there is some mismatch between the information provided by you and the reference, then you will go in the rejected application list. Okay. So now next is selection decision. Now on the basis of this reference and background check, here selection decision will be done. Now after this selection decision, again some people will go for the next process and some will go for the rejected applicants. Now next step is physical examination. Now physical examination, or you can say medical examination. Now what is the reason behind this medical examination? Many of we think that medical examination is only done for the fitness purpose, but no, there are many more reasons for the medical examination, the physical examination. Yes, number one is to check the physical fitness, whether you are physically fit, because some jobs are very some jobs are the jobs which requires more physical effort. So in that scenario you should have the physical fitness. Okay, and many times some jobs require some intellectual properties, so at that time your psychological examination can also be done. So this is the one purpose, physical fitness for the job. Now another purpose is just to check whether the candidate is suffering from any contagious disease or not, because if you are having some contagious disease, then the other employees will get suffer. So this is also one of the reason for physical examination. Then another reason is that the organization should make it sure that whether the employee is suffering from any disease prior joining to the organization, so that employee should not claim on the organization that after joining this organization he suffered from the disease, so he will not claim for the compensation of the organization. So that should be checked prior of his joining. So these are some these are some purposes of physical examination. So again in physical examination, some people will get rejected, some people will get accepted for the next process. Now the next step is job offer. So job offer means, now here the the organization will provide offer letter to the candidates who have passed through all the steps above. Okay, so it's not a final appointment letter, it's just an offer letter that company is willing to accept you as an employee in the organization. So they're offering you the job in their organization. Okay, so in that offer letter they will uh, mention you the job roles and responsibilities, they will mention you the salary package, they will mention you the location, they will mention you the terms and conditions, the bonds if any present is there. So these are the purposes of job offer. So when job will be offered, now many candidate can reject the offer. So we can see here the in all the above steps rejection will be done by the organization, but in job offer rejection is from the employee side, candidate side. So some candidates will accept the offer, some candidate will reject the offer. So rejected offer will again go in rejected applicants list. Okay, now the people who have accepted the job offer, now they will be provided with employment contract. Now these are the people who will be joining as an employee in the organization, and now organization will provide them the employment contract. So employment contract is a statement of the terms and conditions working as an employee in the organization. Now there will be detailed description of the terms and conditions in this. The rules and regulations will be given in this employment contract, starting from the start time, the end time, the number of leaves provided to the person, the lunch break timing, then the process of termination from the organization, or process of resignation from the organization, process of applying the leave, process of disciplinary action. So whatever is related to the employee, all the matters will be included in the employment contract. Okay, and after this last step is evaluation of whole selection process. Now evaluation means to check the effectiveness. So here in last step we are checking the effectiveness of the whole selection process. So how much effective we are, how much successful we are in the selection process, because many times it happens that you have selected a person expecting the performance, but you have failed to select the right candidate. You just miss the right candidate and you have taken the wrong candidate, because in during the interview process many people will show you something else and they are something else. So company should make sure that they have selected the right person for the right job. That is a evaluation of the selection process. So this is a whole process of employee selection.